Welcome back to Sports Corner. This week we're back with Brady Oltmans from the Casper Star Tribune and, of course, my sports partner, Carmine Gemei. Guys, the last time the three of us were sitting here, we were previewing the season, and if we're being honest, we weren't overly optimistic about our Pokes. But I think it's safe to say that they're proving us wrong so far. Would you guys agree with that? How would you evaluate them thus far?
Well, it's weird. I mean, they just win games. I mean, sometimes it's all it takes, but like the Idaho game was too close, borderline too close. Missouri almost gave it away at the end. And, you know, the Tulsa game, they're not able to pull it out. I think that comes back to bite them a little bit there. But then you have UNLV, which I don't think was ever in doubt at any point. So their injuries is obviously like the biggest point for them so far. But after everything else, I mean, Sean Chambers was rough against Tulsa, but finished out, played well against UNLV. Running game looked a lot better. Defense seemed a lot better, and everybody getting involved. So, I mean, everybody who has needed to shine has really kind of shown out at different points this year.
And that's a great point, Brady, about the injuries. Perfect time for a bye week right now. And after that 53-17 win over UNLV, I asked Coach Bowl. He picked on me. I was very excited. And I said, Coach, what would you say to somebody if they told you at the beginning of the year that you guys were 4-1? And he said, take it in a New York minute. And I said, well, if he's happy about that 4-1, they would love to have that Tulsa game. Had Sean Chambers not fumbled at the 3-yard line, they were only down 3 at the time. They would have probably kicked a field goal or maybe gone for it on 4th down. But, you know, you got to take the good with the bad. So 4-1, that's way better than we thought they were going to start.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and this team could have folded after that loss on the road to Tulsa. That was big at the end for Chambers. You know, that last minute, it came down to it. So instead, a dominating win, 53-17 over the weekend to UNLV. How would you guys kind of evaluate this weekend's play compared to the first 4 games?
I mean, you got to temper kind of expectations because UNLV is just not great.
Right.
But and in the end of the day, you want them to perform against those teams. I mean, we see it at every single level of high school football, college football, professional football. You got to finish the games regardless of opponent. So I don't think any real facet of the game. Both lines played well. Defense played well. The skill position players had big games. Even the subs that don't typically get to see good playing time came in and performed well. So, I mean, I think overall you got to look at everybody and say we shoved out the guys who could play, healthy enough to play, and most of them did pretty well.
I think you're spot on again with tempering it because of the opponent. But at the same time, 50-plus points for Wyoming. That's something you don't see very often. I know these two teams had a shootout several years ago where they both scored 60, but that UNLV defense, not very good, but still college athletes. I mean, to put up 50 points, you got to say that's still a good job for the Pokes. Plus, we learned another thing. They loved the second quarter at home. They scored 26 unanswered points against UNLV in the second quarter.
Huge.
Then we all remember that second quarter against Missouri, 27 points. Now they had a defensive score in that one. Logan Wilson, though, had a pick, took it down to the 3-yard line, NC grad. So I think it's a big confidence booster going into the bye week. Plus, get healthy. And everybody was very happy in that press room in the postgame.
Yeah, overall, I think they definitely showed out this past weekend. Talking about Sean Chambers specifically, he accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 passing and 2 running. His passing game has kind of been in question this season. He didn't throw a lot against Tulsa, completing 5 of 12. But this is a Sean Chambers that could really thrive for Wyoming. What do you guys think?
It's interesting. After he kind of got benched in that Tulsa game, they bring Tyler Vanderwall in, and I think that moment shows Sean like he has a long leash, but also like this is still college football, and in order to win a game, we will pull you. And I think that kind of lit a fire under him, and he came out with that intensity after he went back in against Tulsa. Obviously, played with an intensity against UNLV. So I don't know, man. There's a reason why Craig Bowl is a Division I football coach, and they know what they're doing with those guys.
And after the game against Tulsa, Craig Bowl said, you guys got to remember, this is a redshirt freshman quarterback. This is single-digit start territory for him. He's not Josh Allen coming in with a lot of experience coming back to lead the Pokes. This is a redshirt freshman guy who only started 3 games last year. And so he kind of wanted to temper those expectations, but you're right about lighting a fire for him. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns in this last game against UNLV. The only bad thing, he's only completing less than 7 passes per game, averaging about 17 passing attempts per game, just 112 passing yards per game. On the rushing side, though, 76 rushing yards and 6 total touchdowns in 5 games. So passing leaves a little bit to be desired, but the rushing is definitely a strong point.
Definitely, but speaking about that fire for Sean Chambers, he did comment on that after the game on Saturday, so let's take a look.
I told Coach Bull it sparked something underneath me. It lit a fire underneath me. I don't know how long the fire is going to burn for, but it's going to burn for a while. And I just got that, the eagle eye, and I went out there last week and, just tried to do my best to help the team win. Took that same passion attack today, and, the team really just rallied around each other, and we just, we clicked tonight, and it was good.
A lot of pressure on him, guys, but also a lot more development room for that redshirt freshman.
Yeah, I mean, high ceiling, still excitement, a lot of things to work on, but that's part of the game.
And he's got that good attitude, like you just saw. Brady said, that would be the exact effect that Tulsa benching would have. He came in and helped hang 50-plus points on another team, so looks good going forward.
All right, and plenty more where this is coming from. We'll be right back with some more Sports Corner right after the break.